For decades, the global consensus on British food was brutally consistent. It was known as a landscape of boiled vegetables and gray meats, a culinary punchline defined by bland, uninspired plates. But look at this chart comparing top-tier dining destinations today. It shows London currently holds more Michelin-starred restaurants than Paris. Step outside the fine dining rooms, you find a casual street food ecosystem packed with aggressive, vibrant flavors from every corner of the globe. How exactly does a city mockingly dismissed for its cooking evolve into one of the most intensely celebrated dining capitals on the planet? This pie chart helps explain the shift, highlighting the demographic reality of modern London. It shows that 37% of the city's current residents were born outside the United Kingdom. This massive influx of new residents brought a collision of palates that would begin to challenge the very definition of British food. To understand the baseline before the arrival of these new flavors, we have to look back to the working-class East End of the 19th century. Here, you'll find the Pie and Mash shop, the city's oldest surviving fast food institution. The menu is rigid: minced beef pie, a scoop of mashed potatoes, and a vivid green parsley sauce known as liquor, and it contains no alcohol at all. Beyond the streets, the home and the pub revolve around a sacred weekend ritual: the Sunday roast. A proper roast requires a strict assembly of components. You need beef, lamb, or chicken, paired with crisp roast potatoes, roasted vegetables, a Yorkshire pudding, and a generous pour of rich gravy. These meals provide a deep sense of comfort and cultural continuity, yet their strict, largely unchanging formulas and reliance on simple, heavy ingredients built the foundation for that bleak culinary stereotype. But London's food ecosystem was never entirely closed off. If you walk down to the area surrounding London Bridge, you find the city's ancient commercial heart. This spot exists because the River Thames is a tidal waterway. For centuries, the sea physically pushed deep inland, carrying heavily loaded merchant ships directly to the city docks. Right on the edge of those ancient docks sits Borough Market. Operating here since at least the 12th century, it remains a functional, high-volume wholesale hub that connects the city to the wider world. To this day, many of London's most ambitious chefs arrive here before dawn to physically source the ingredients for their menus. Walk the aisles now, and you'll see deep-rooted domestic staples like English farmhouse cheese being traded right next to Breton crepes and hot Gujarati street food. This market shows that London's culinary identity has always relied on a continuous physical collision between local harvests and foreign arrivals. That dynamic collision of cultures hits its peak a short distance away, pushing east into Shoreditch and Hoxton, specifically along the stretch known as Brick Lane. In the mid-20th century, a wave of Bengali immigrants arrived and settled into this specific corridor of the East End. As this community firmly established itself, residents began opening small restaurants and curry houses, primarily to feed their own growing local population. These chefs engineered an entirely distinct menu for their new environment, known today as British Indian cuisine, a hybrid style adapted specifically for the local palate. Many of the staples you find in a London curry house simply do not exist in India. The balti, the specific ritual of starting with a stack of papadums and chutney, and the late-night post-pub curry meal, these are all specific inventions of this environment. The cooks on Brick Lane weren't trying to offer an alternative to British food. By adapting to their new city, they engineered a completely new, permanent chapter of the national diet. Walk into a local curry house today, and the experience feels just as permanent and just as culturally entrenched as sitting down for a traditional Sunday roast. Modern British dining is no longer measured by how perfectly it preserves its oldest recipes. It is defined by its capacity for continuous amalgamation. London moved from a global culinary joke to an elite dining powerhouse precisely because it possesses a relentless willingness to absorb new influences and reinvent itself. The city shed its dreary reputation by embracing its greatest culinary asset, the constant influx of people who move here